God bless you.
Thank you.
This is a very common situation when it comes to white marble, where the marble, even though it is sealed, even though I used epoxy grout, what happens is water, it wicks underneath the marble and it takes a long time for it to dry out.
Hi guys, this is Danny Ganix. We have a surprise for you, which probably you're not gonna see every day on either YouTube or other platforms. This is a bathroom which Carl did
about 6 months ago.
6 months ago. So you're gonna see something which is not usual, and we're going to fix it. It's not our fault, but this happens.
It's common.
It's very common, especially what's in the back of us. This is a marble shower enclosure. So on the floor, you are going to see a marble floor. So you're gonna see what can happen with the marble and what you can do to address the problem and to have a long-lasting installation. Exactly. So stay tuned. We are going to show you, and then Carl is going to go give you more depth as this particular job, and we're going to show you what we have to do and how we're going to prep it. Carl.
All right, guys. So in this bathroom, we have Ouija boards on the whole shower area, custom niches. I got a 12 by 24 Calcutta gold marble, very white marble with gray veins, and it has some goldy tones in it. On the shower pan floor, I have a Ouija shower pan. All the thin sets and everything on this job were our Ardex thin sets, so the installation practices were all there. On the shower pan floor, I have a basket weave mosaic, Calcutta gold, very white marble, same as white Carrara, same family. The problem here is the fact that a lot of these marbles, these white stones, are very porous. We went ahead and sealed the stone twice. We used epoxy grout, and then when I installed the marble on the shower pan floor, I did it before I did the walls. Because it's a foam pan, I didn't want to be walking on it and put indentations in it and have problems like that. So that was one of the first things I did after I did prep and went through the flood test. I actually installed the shower pan floor first, then set my walls on top of it, obviously protecting the marble floor. When I trialed, I went ahead and trialed as normal, and then I took the back side of my trial and knocked down those ridges and then tamped the stone in. That way we have 100% coverage on the back of the tile. So this right here, we went through all the steps and the precautions to take care of this. But what's going on is, and this is God bless you.
Thank you.
This is a very common situation when it comes to white marble, where the marble, even though it is sealed, even though I used epoxy grout, what happens is water, it wicks underneath the marble and it takes a long time for it to dry out. And in this shower, we're gonna show you what we're gonna do to combat that situation and correct this situation. The sad part is the client actually picked another white marble. So with that being said, we also let her know again that this could happen again. And these are the things that happen with white marble that I want you all to be aware of, either when you're installing or when you're selling this material to a client. The client needs to be aware of these things, so they don't think that it is something that you did wrong. And that's what we have here. So that's why we're back about 6 months later. We actually noticed it immediately as soon as the plumber turned the water on, and there started to be some usage of water. We noticed that there was blotching darkening of certain areas that really didn't make too much sense. And over time, it actually got worse, and it actually got darker, and the area got bigger. So we do know that it is in the stone. So what we're gonna do here is show you guys what we're gonna do and the materials that we're gonna use. So stay tuned. We got a little bit of work to do. So watch out.
Yep, watch out. So we are back in the garage. Carl is marking the template.
Yes, I am. And I'm marking a template with a grease gun, which is a very good pencil. Unless you want a new one, I can get you a new one. But this pencil right here, what this pencil is going to do is going to mark it very fine, but also not rub off very easily. So on stone, you can't mark it with a Sharpie. Pencils don't show up that well. What you can use is you can use one of these. You can use a whiteout pencil or a paint pen. Those work very well. You have to be very careful what you're marking with because the stone is very porous. So certain materials will actually, they won't wash off. So be very careful what you mark a stone with.
Alright guys, we are back. This is another day. What we are doing now, previous you saw on the pictures, we actually pre-cut everything up. We made a template, and as you see right now, we put them together. And why it's another day? Because the homeowners use the shower, and by using in the shower it was a lot of moisture, and you know, the surface was dry enough for us to adhere our products. We are going to show you how we're going to prep, how we're going to approach this situation, and what products we're going to use. Carl is ready for showing you a couple of tips again, and what we are using, Carl. And what do you have in this bottle? Because
in this bottle I have the Oceancare penetrating sealer. I just go ahead and I take the whole container, I put it in a fresh solvent spray bottle. Okay, so this spray bottle is good for any kind of chemicals, solvents and stuff like that. So I go ahead and just shake the container up, the Oceancare, shake it up real good, and then I pour it in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spray all the marble, and I'm using a sprayer instead of using a sponge or a roller, just so that I make sure that I can get down to the sides of the material and get it saturated really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spray it. I'm going to let it bake on here for about 1 to 3 minutes. Then I'm going to use a microfiber, fresh microfiber, and I'm just going to wipe it very lightly. Once that sealer penetrates, I'm gonna do it again, and then I know that everything is properly sealed up. Then what we can do is we'll go upstairs and we'll take the next step, which will be priming the floor. So we're going to use a Mapei Ecoprime and roll the whole shower floor that's in existence right now. And we're gonna roll the whole shower floor with the Mapei Ecoprime, which is going to allow us to bond very well, this tile very well to the tile that we're tiling over top of. Which is gonna give us a nice strong base. We're gonna wait for that to dry up. And then what we're gonna do after we do that, we'll go ahead and fit our tiles in, make sure that everything is set really well with our template. I'm pretty confident that we're 100% on that. What we're gonna do after that is we're gonna adhere their tile with Ardex. Our Ardex product is called X32. It's a moisture sensitive Rapidset thinset. This thinset sets up really fast, and it's for natural stones so that you don't, it doesn't discolor the tile or darken the tile. And it comes in white or gray. We chose the white one. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we'll show you how we're gonna trial it. I'm not gonna show you that right now, but we'll show you when we get upstairs how we're gonna trial it to make sure that we have 100% bond on the back of it, so that there are no passages for moisture or water to set into. Because this is a Thassos, which is a very absorbent, very soft stone, very soft. Softer than the one that we're already battling upstairs, which is Carrara or Calcutta. This is what the customer chose. She already knows what the chances of this stone holding moisture is. We let her know, and she's very well aware of it. This was her decision. So what we're doing is we're gonna go back over it and make this thing right, and take the next step. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention. So we're sealing the tile. Yeah. We're using Ardex X32 moisture sensitive Rapidset thinset. We're grouting this with Ardex WA. It's a 2-part epoxy grout. And it's in the same color, brilliant white. The walls in the bathroom, we're using 100% epoxy on this right here. And that will make sure this will never stain right here. This is not gonna stain. It is gonna remain white for the duration of the life of the shower. Great product. This is why we're using these products right here, because these are all great products and we believe in them. Alright guys, so back at this shower pan with the marble darkening or retaining moisture. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna actually pull the drain up, take the drain body, which is the outer ring. We're gonna take those off. We're gonna go ahead and mask around the perimeter.
Making sure that our primer not gonna touch any of those surrounding tiles. Okay. And I'm gonna make it tight to the shower base.
Okay.
So there is no room for any of the primer to escape. And then once we cover everything up, seal everything up, we're gonna apply the primer. Then we have to wait the primer to get cured, and the next step is going to be setting the tiles in.
Awesome. Alrighty. So guys, stay tuned. We're just going ahead and getting this prepped up for the primer. And we're going to allow the primer to dry, like Danny said. And then as soon as that, we'll come in, bring the tiles in, dry lay everything, pull them back up, and start setting it. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Is treat the shower pan with a Mapei Ecoprime drip, and what we're gonna do with that is that's gonna allow me to bond on top of it, go tile over top of tile. We're actually gonna tile right over top of this. What that's also gonna do is it's gonna lock out that moisture. All right, Danny. So now that you've got everything all taped off, what are you doing right now?
Well, I already have the primer in the container, and I will roll it one time in one direction, and then the second time I'm going to roll it in the opposite direction, so I make sure I have a good coverage on all the crevices, and to make sure that this is going to be 100% primed.
Okay, good.
I'm using a nap roller. We call that, how do you call this?
Hot
dog. So I make sure I'm saturating my roller. Not too much.
Now let me ask you something. Before you poured your primer in the container right here, did you have to do anything else to the primer?
Yes, I did. Well, I want to make sure, well, actually when I open the container, I want to make sure it's very well mixed, because even if you use it the next day or in a week or so, you can use the product, it's sealed, but you have to make sure you steer very, very well the product to make sure it's how did I say
all
it?
the aggregates are mixed in?
Yes, mix them together.
Okay.
Because it's pretty much normal, every product, if you leave it on the shelf for a while, all the components on the product are going to rest to the bottom. So even with the grouts, for example, the sanded or unsanded, we make sure we shake the bags very well and mix them dry prior to any mixing with water. So the same process on this one as well. So right now I'm ready for rolling.
All right.
So let's try with this corner.
That product looks very loose. I guess the reason why it's so loose is so that it gets into all the crevices and fills all them very, very well.
As you see, our tape comes in handy. The nap roller is right there. Even if I'm touching the wall, I'm not exceeding the line. Of course, I could go faster with this one, but going faster, you can spray on the wall, so I don't want to have extra work by cleaning this. So I'm getting slow, make sure all the corners and crevices are filled.
Good job. And this product right here, Ecoprime Grip, is for bonding tile over tile or hard to bond surfaces. You can actually paint this over top of underlayment boards and a lot of other products you can paint over top of that you normally wouldn't be able to adhere tile to, and this product allows you to do that. And Mapei backs it up with a great warranty. I always suggest that you do your research first and make sure that the the surface is a suitable surface that Mapei recommends, and that they'll go ahead and back you on it, because they've done all the testing in the laboratory, in the field, to know what surfaces are going to work, what surfaces are not going to work, and that's what these companies they do. So don't take it into your own hands and expect the product to do anything miraculous that hasn't been already pre-tested. The thinset I'm going to use in here is Ardex X32, which is a Rapidset moisture sensitive thinset. And when I go ahead and use that thinset, what it does is it eliminates the discoloration, or at least limits the amount of discoloration.
Carl is spraying the thinset in a shower pen, so he's ready to come out. So Carl, why do you use the flat side of the trowel?
Well, I want to burn it into the surface, so make sure that I don't have any voids in the thinset where the thinset is bonding to our substrate. So I just go ahead and flat trowel it in first. And then what I'm going to do is just go ahead and trowel it as normal. And then I'm going to flatten my trowel so that I have full coverage. I don't think I need the flat trowel these days.
Collapse the ridges, make sure there is a lot of bond underneath.
I have good, very good coverage.
That looks good. Very tedious because those lashes have so many small pieces
that are falling out. So what we want to do is go ahead and by Weedy standards, they ask anything less than a 2x2 on a foam pan should be grouted with epoxy grout. So these are way less than a 2x2, so we're going to definitely go ahead and use epoxy grout on this. So we're trying to make this thing bulletproof and problem free for many years down the line, or at least limit the possibility of there being an issue in the future. All right.
What we can tell about this grout, how it's spreading? It's spreading smooth, it's hard.
It's smooth, but it is thick. It definitely packs in real good. One thing I like about epoxy grout is that it's not going to stain, and then the other part is it is going to seal the stone at the same time.
It's done.
It's done. Yes, it is done. So again, we had tile over tile in this shower pan. We had a Calcutta Gold 2x2 hexagon. What happened was the stone was actually absorbing water. Came in immediately, checked the weeps, everything was good. So what we did is we allowed the shower to dry out. Came in, templated the whole area. Client picked a new material. We came in, templated everything, sealed all the stone downstairs in the garage, raised the height of the drain, primed the whole shower pan with Mapei Ecoprime. And then what we did is we actually adhered the tile with Ardex X32, moisture sensitive, Rapidset thinset. And then we grouted the shower pan. This is all going on the same day. We grouted the pan with Ardex WA Epoxy grout, a 2-part epoxy grout. Shined everything up, set the drain plate in. The shower is ready to use tonight. I asked the homeowner to use it tomorrow morning. So we're all done here. Everything is looking great. Everything is nice and shiny. Everything is nice and sealed. And we're good to go. This client's got a new shower pan floor, all ready to go.
Nice and tight, everything up, nice and clean, everything is shiny. There is no residue on any of those tiles. You can see actually the reflections of the lights. Yeah, here they are. So you can see those are very clean. So hard work pays off.
Yes, it does. It was very hard. This wasn't an easy one to do. There's a lot of steps involved to actually get it to this point. But Danny and I went ahead and put the work in and got it done. So together, the homeowner's got a fantastic shower.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
So guys, see you to the next video. Stay tuned and wait for more.